Hello everyone, welcome back to the Freelance YouTube channel. Today I thought I'd try something a little bit different and you can let me know if you like this format. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me while I talk about things I wish I knew when I first started as a makeup artist. So this sounds good, get a cup of tea, do your makeup alongside me, let's get ready. I'm gonna start my day with some, I've already got like my proper SPF, but I use like this Chanel. This is one of my favorites. Let me put it here so you can see it a little better. It's the UV Essential. So I already have quite a lot of SPF on underneath, but because it's sunken in, I'm just gonna put a little bit extra. You can never have too much SPF in my opinion. I'm gonna do my everyday no fuss makeup look because I have some meetings today. Okay, I'm gonna take some Shiseido of the new, this is the new Revita Lescent Skin Glow. And I'm just gonna chat while we do this. So the first thing I feel like I wish I'd known was how to navigate like the hierarchy within the creative industries. I think one of the things that actually shocked me the most coming like small town, country bumpkin, like moving to London, moving to a big city, was how dog eat dog everything was. Like when I think back to the beginning of my career, one of the things that I definitely think I struggled with was how guarded everyone was. Like I wish I'd kind of had some warning, like, hey, not everyone's like gonna be having your back and like wanting the best for you. And I do think that's a big reason why I started Freelance for Freedom and the programs I run and became a coach for creatives, especially like makeup artists, stylists, photographers, anyone who kind of works in the glam team. Because I remember being on shoots and even like when I first started my YouTube channel, I remember how like it was kind of laughed at, it was ridiculed, and it was definitely one of those things where it wasn't cool. And I think being like a little countryside bumpkin, like coming like from a small town, I naively just thought everyone was gonna be out for everyone else and like be like, let me help you, let me show you this. I think that was actually so much harder than I could have anticipated. And when it comes to like what I wish I'd known, I'm saying that from a place of like, when I think it comes to moving to a big city, when it comes to moving anywhere, quite honestly, for your career, is the fact you're gonna have to build your support system again. So I know I had that both when I lived in England, when I moved to London for the first time from moving from a small tiny town, and the same when I moved from London to LA. It's really hard because you have to be your biggest cheerleader, right? That's always going to be like step one. But I think when we go beyond that, it's like, okay, no one warns you like how hard it can be building a support system from the ground up again, like in a place where you don't know anyone, you're in a new market. And I know when I moved from London to LA, I'd moved into a much more predominantly celebrity market than what I was used to in London. I had some celebrity clients in London, but nowhere near as many as I knew I was gonna end up doing in LA. But even when you're doing a big move, like think about like where your support systems are. And I do recommend doing things like meetups, like getting a part of some kind of community so that you actually have people who can be on that journey with you, especially other people who are also navigating being new in a market. Because I did find it lonely. Like I definitely did struggle with the loneliness and finding other people that wanted like me to win too, as well as them, and didn't see like my success as a threat and vice versa. The dog eat dogness of creative industries can be so prevalent at times. It does get tiring. And like I remember those times when I was like, okay, now I live here, like I don't have my support system I had back home. And especially moving to LA, it meant that obviously like the time difference alone, like my family are like 8 hours time difference in the UK. So that was really, really hard to navigate, being like, okay, where's my support system at, and knowing that I'd have to build it. Again, it's another reason I built Freelance for Freedom, because I wanted a community where artists who were starting out or maybe doing a move, or maybe had been in their industry a long time and just had never felt that sense of companionship or finding other people supporting them or rooting for them. I built it because I wanted it when I started out. Milk lip oil, I'm just putting on for a bit of moisture. The Refi Brow, I'm really loving. I'm very late to the party on this. But this is the Refi, the clear brow gel, and I'm loving it because it has the spoolie on the end as well. So I feel like that was one of the biggest things that I wish someone had kind of like prepared me and been like, okay, you're gonna need to think about your support network. You're gonna need to think about how you look after yourself being somewhere new. One of the things I think is the best thing about being in 2024 is the fact that mental health is such a huge conversation, and it's so important. Especially as creatives, because how we get paid is different, how we show up to work is different. Like there is so much nuance that I think for so many artists, it can just feel overwhelming, riddled with the loneliness of no one having open and honest conversations about what it's really like being a creative. It's no surprise to me that people struggle with their mental health, and I know I did. Like, that impacted my career a lot in the beginning, was trying to navigate like building a career for myself, doing all the things, and yet just feeling honestly like really deeply alone when I first started, because I didn't have a community. I didn't have anyone to kind of talk to, let alone a coach, let alone someone to support me. Let's have a little moment for the Refi brows because they're so good. That would be the first thing I think, is really genuinely navigating, having a support system. What does looking after yourself look like as you do a big move or you're navigating your career as a freelancer? So maybe that's something like online therapy or doing additional things as well as joining a community. Maybe it is going to meetups, but I would do whatever you can to be meeting more people who have the same goals as you, who want the same things as you, and actively think about creating your support network now. Okay, this is definitely one of my most used products ever. It's the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Brow Crayon in taupe. It's so good. I'm just gonna put this all over my eye. Okay, the second thing I wish I knew when I first started out as a makeup artist is how unimportant it would be to have luxury makeup. Like a lot of artists, I think I spent a lot of time investing in my kit. And to be clear, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to invest in your kit, but I think there comes a point where like build a client base first. And my philosophy is it's more important to have a diverse kit, like have a kit that caters to everybody before focusing on having like all the luxury things. I think especially in the age of like depotting and everyone kind of minimizing their kit and stuff like that to make it more easy to like carry around, clients just want to look good. Like, yes, you might get someone be like, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Even when I haven't had something, I've been like, no, I have this and it's better and here's why I like it instead. Like having the confidence in the kit that works best for you versus seeing every new trend, every new product come out and feeling you need to have it. Especially when you're starting out as an artist, that would have been something I would have loved to hear. And knowing what I know now, and even as a celebrity makeup artist, knowing there were still drugstore brands I love, like so much of the drugstore makeup is made by the bigger luxury beauty brands and parent companies and sister companies. I just feel like that could have been something that would have given me a lot of confidence in my kit and peace in my kit versus feeling like we're doing some Chanel eyeliner, the brown, versus feeling like I had to rush and like work my way to like building this kit and then still have no bookings. So again, when I think back to baby Harry, like she had to learn how to get booked first with the kit she had and then like build your bookings. I think like we forget that we spend money so easily on like investing in our kit, but when it comes to getting the business help we need or the business support we need, we think twice about spending money there. And again, if there's one thing I wish I'd known, especially in the way education and support exists now for artists, I would have spent my money learning about the business of makeup. I would have spent my money learning about navigating the industry and how to get booked versus spending all my money on a kit that, yeah, it was beautiful, it was full of luxury products, but when I had no bookings, that didn't help me. Like having a luxury kit wasn't the thing that made people want to book me. We're just doing a little flick. So that's definitely something I think needs to be talked about more. And I think in 2024, the priority for any artist, not just new artists, should be that you're building a kit that is diverse and caters to everybody who sits in your chair. I have done mascara. I'm going to do some Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer. The third thing I wish I'd done, quite honestly, is started making content sooner. It goes without saying, we're all very aware of social media and the impact it can have on our careers as artists. But I just think it goes beyond getting booked. When I think about laying the foundations of building a personal brand, it starts with making content because you also own your content. And I wish someone had told me when I first started how little control I was gonna have over things like getting images back, getting my work back, and ultimately having something that I owned. Whereas when I first started creating content, especially when I first started my first YouTube channel, Harry Makes It Up, I finally had something that I was like, oh, first of all, there's other ways I can diversify my income here. But more than anything, it was having something that I controlled. I knew when I was going to be able to upload a video, when I could post something. I don't think to get bookings, it's about making more content. It's about making better content. So a lot of people will tell me like, Harry, I hate making content. And I'll be like, but that's because you're making content you don't like. Whereas I think something that really changed the game for me, and I feel like I still was pretty late to the party. It's never too late. The best time was to start was yesterday. The next best time is now. But even by the time I did start, I could already see a lot of artists had created so much freedom in their business by having a presence online, and more than anything, they had something they owned. I'm gonna go in with Chanel. This is the medium shade of the BK brushes, by the way. Absolutely lovely, they're so good. We're just gonna add a little bit of warmth and dimension. Where I'm at now in my career, I can see, especially if we trace back through the past like 10 years, obviously we have things like COVID, we have things like the writer's strike. And I think it's the people who would really prioritize making content, kind of like laying the foundations of their brand identity, are the ones that had additional streams of revenue. And they also had the attention of brands. And it goes without saying, it's going to increase your bookings. I think the biggest thing that I wish someone had told me sooner when I first started out is that social media and making content to promote myself is a part of my job, and to take it seriously, because you can be mad at social media. You can hate the fact you have to do it. But I always say to my clients, like, I remember the days when I had to carry around like an 11 by 14 giant book. Each photo used to cost me £50 to print for one photo that oftentimes like wasn't my best work yet. So I'd be kind of updating and changing it, wasting money left, right, and center. And to meet with someone, like to see my work, I wouldn't like meet them in real life, which again, if there was a photographer I wanted to work with in another country or, you know, was going to be visiting, I had to rely on them meeting me first somewhere before they'd even consider working with me. And being online and having my work be visible online, it definitely made way more opportunities way faster. I've seen it happen with my clients time and time again. Like I said, the people who are really prioritizing making content that positions them as an expert, that showcases their work, the book to get booked. It's not about doing lots of content, but just making sure you are visible. Like, you should be visible. Being visible is a part of your job, the same way that I used to have to pay all that money for a book. I used to have to carry around everywhere. And I genuinely believe it's easier than it's ever been. We're gonna do some blush. I'm gonna put some, let's do a Monica Blunder blush. We'll do Salzburg. It's like a nice kind of like corally pink color. It's easier than it's ever been. I really genuinely believe that, and I think a lot of people want to fight that and be like, no, I don't want to do it, let's go back to the old way. The old way took longer and the old way was more expensive. Let me just say that right now. I don't want to go back. I feel like there's more opportunity with how we get booked now. And I definitely think it's easier than people think. I understand the fears and the mindset work that comes around being visible online. And that's why, like, in my programs, it's always a mix of mindset and strategy so that we can help you like feel safe being visible online. But I really wish someone had kind of sat me down and be like, Harry, start earlier. Start now, because you're gonna have way more freedom in the future, no matter what happens, whether it's COVID, no matter whether it's writers' strikes. Like, there's going to be so many other ways you can earn money, and the brands are going to find you faster. Not just people who are going to book you right now, but when it came to things like getting interviews in magazines, or, you know, beauty editors wanting quotes from me for my expert opinion, it was more because of things I'd showcased on social media that really did just solidify my positioning, and I was visible. So I really wish more people had told me that. I'm gonna do a bit of NARS Air Matte Lip in, which one is this? Surrender. Hopefully these are still available. You can shop my like to know as well. I'll link that down below because that has like a lot of my most used products. I'm just gonna smudge that in. I'm definitely feeling a kind of like creamy, peachy tones today. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of powder, the M Cosmetics to finish. But I think they would be my top three. They would be my top three things I genuinely wish someone had sat me down and be like, Harry, do this, don't do this. Really thought about how I put my mental health first in an industry that is very fast paced, is ever changing. Started putting things in place where I had more freedom, I had more control, and things were more on my timeline. Literally, I just had more space to think about what did I want my business to look like as it grow. The way I see it now is like every creative has the ability to start laying the foundations of it, building an empire now. Like, so those are the three things I would say I wish I knew when I started. That is the finished look. I'm gonna go to my work meetings now. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if this video was helpful and you like this format, and I can definitely do more of these. Goes without saying, share this video if it helped you with another creative so we can destroy this like dog-eat-dog narrative in creative industries. And don't forget to sign up for my free training where I will show you how to double your bookings in any market and book celebrities and global brands. I'll leave that linked in the description below. Subscribe, join the party. I love building communities based on other artists who, like I said, want to be a part of something where we all get to win. I hope you're having a great week. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.